Episode 51, Influence.
Who's your influence? As we've seen the last week, how y'all doing, man? Hopefully you've had a good week. There's
Blessed week.
This one story, and we're going to get right into it, has dominated the media for about a week now.
That witch
Now, all of a sudden,
and warlock.
no one cares about the war in Ukraine. No one cares about what's going on with the demic. No one is
Great
talking
acting,
about,
huh?
No one is talking about none of that.
Now, I said that they was acting.
You can't just say that instinctually. You have to see proof.
Oh, no. You didn't think it was just acting, though. You thought it was emasculating the black man.
When I say that?
So you didn't say that?
No.
You said I agree with Kevin Samuels because you said Kevin Samuels said that.
See, now you're lying. You was talking about these dudes on the internet that's making it about that. And I said there is some aspect of that that's true.
So you didn't say that Kevin Samuels said this is a form of emasculating?
We never said Kevin Samuels' name in that conversation. We didn't.
Wow.
We were talking about the dudes. You said the dudes on the internet, on YouTube, keep making this about.
That was the next day.
What are you talking about?
The night you told me, you referenced Kevin Samuels.
No, I show you the video. I said, look.
I didn't see no video. You never showed me the video. You just told me about it.
I didn't show you the video. I showed you the title of the video and the thumbnail.
Okay, y'all can go about whose track record online is. I don't. I have a great memory and I don't lie.
Anyway,
I said they were acting.
But that's not even the whole point. The point of the matter is this was a staged event. Whether you think he actually got slapped or not is besides the point. Whether or not you think he got slapped because they needed it to happen, or if he faked the slap, or if the whole situation was staged.
They did what they had to do to make this a distraction for what they needed to be a distraction for, and it was also to help with views for the Oscars.
It didn't help with views at all.
They got more views, dude.
We did a video.
They got more attention towards it.
It got 600,000 extra views.
That's more views.
That's not. They averaged. They got 12 million last year, which is the lowest ever. This year
they got what?
This year they got 16 million.
That's better than last year.
You're not listening.
I am listening.
They only gained 600K.
I understand what 600K is.
They got 16 million. They already did better than last year.
Okay.
This didn't bring many views.
It did. It brought attention to the Oscars.
No,
dude.
you said viewers. It didn't bring
viewers too.
It didn't bring new viewers to the show. It definitely brought more attention online to the show. That's what I'm saying.
Online is the new form of.
They don't count towards their views on the net. That's why I only count for 16 million. Hell, there's a video on YouTube that got 85 million views.
Okay.
They don't go towards the Oscars viewership. It goes
towards the Oscars because it prepares for next year. They're like, well, what's going to happen next year?
No one's going to watch it next year. It's like nobody watched it this year, really.
Okay.
My point, it didn't help the Oscars. This was bigger than the Oscars.
We know it was a double-edged sword. It was to make a distraction for what's going on in the Ukraine and all this other shit, and it was for the Oscars as well.
I just don't believe that. But
it definitely had nothing to do with emasculating the black man. I don't think it had absolutely nothing to do with that.
We'll get to that. Hold on, I'm gonna question you on that.
Okay.
You see this right here? This is how you know this thing. We only talking about this. We're not even here. I didn't even want to talk about the slap. I wanted to talk about the stuff behind it. Jada Pinkett won't allow Will Smith to talk about the slap until he comes on her Red Table Talk show.
Because she need them views for her show as well.
Now look at this title. What does that title say?
Jada Pinkett won't allow Will Smith.
What's the word there? Allow.
Yeah, allow.
So when you say this is not about emasculating, what you would think of emasculated black man, Will Smith, whose wife is accused of what we know she's done, running up on stage to defend her from a joke and slapping another man because he's so emotional about it. You don't think that has a certain image to it?
No, it don't. Because
so now you have the two of the most famous black men. Kanye West is on the internet crying about a hoe sleeping with somebody else, and Will Smith is on here trying to defend his wife, who's sleeping around with other men. and he probably doing the same. You don't think that look a certain way?
Okay.
The word cuck was trending with Will Smith. No one even use that word no more. That's like a word from the 1800s.
You done?
Go.
Okay. First of all, these people are actors. I don't think Will Smith give a damn about who Jada Pinkett was sleeping with.
It's not about them.
Okay, them, this couple.
They perpetuate.
It doesn't matter what they perpetuate. People need to wake up. If people haven't woken up yet and have acknowledged and known that these people are not a real couple, that they are paired and put together. Will Smith was sleeping with people outside the relationship. Jada Pinkett is sleeping with people outside the relationship. Do you think that Will Smith gave a damn about her having an affair with August Alsina? He don't care.
Who said any of that?
So how is that emasculating black man when I know this is all theater? I don't pay this no attention.
Okay. So with this, you see this as a power play for Jada trying to bring more viewers to her Red Table Talk. So we had to see the reaction to the slap, and we saw these people come out, and the reaction was so aggressive. You would have thought it would have been like, okay, he slapped somebody. Will, what you doing? You tripping? But they was like calling for assault charges. They was saying how they got PTSD. Wanda Sykes said she got PTSD now as a comedian. I'm like,
she's joking, dude.
You sure?
I'm pretty sure she's joking.
I mean, you saying that, but it didn't look like she was joking. Then you got Jim Carrey going on the internet saying, going on the interview, I'm sorry, with what's her name from Morning News?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, right? Gayle King. He went on there saying how he would have sued Will for $200 million.
Who cares what Jim Carrey got to say?
The point is, the comedians, the comedians are going on podcast tours.
Well, they're defending another comedian.
That's my point. The comedians are going on podcast tours to defend comedians because we don't want to get assaulted when we're on stage.
Well, let me say this. I think that Wanda is joking. Jim Carrey needed to mind his own damn business. But let's be quite honest. This is theater. This is not real. But in real life,
please, okay.
If Will Smith ran up on somebody and hit somebody, you then are able to go sue this person. That's assault. We're not gonna pretend like
say it wasn't.
That's not assault. So if he wanted to go take charges and take papers out on this man, he could have.
He didn't. That's my point.
Because he obviously didn't feel that weak ass slap was enough to go do anything. So he let it ride.
It wasn't a weak slap, but Chris can take a slap though. He could take a punch.
Yeah, it wasn't no poofiness, no puffiness. It was just like you got.
Oh no, it was all jaw. It wasn't no. It was a little bit of cheek, and the hand was straight as hell. So it was definitely a slap.
Shit.
Unless, of course, I believe there was a picture somebody showed where it looked like he had something over his cheek on his left side, which looked like it could have took the impact of it, but I don't know. But yeah,
okay.
So let's go here. Because
I'm what?
You still on this? It's not real. No one is
not
saying
real.
I don't know how you are not able to see even fake things have impacts. Stage things
if you allow it to have impact.
The point of it is we in reality. It does.
You're right. I am in reality, and I know this shit is fake.
It affects things.
Like what do it affect in the black community?
We already talked about this.
What does it affect?
I just said this 5 minutes ago. And you just dismiss like it don't matter. Okay, you disagree. That's fine. Will Smith, Chris Rock, and Jada Pinkett Smith have been trending on the internet for days. They aren't letting the juices squeeze out of the fruit. Says that Will and Jada have decided to spill it all on Jada Pinkett Smith's Red Table Talk show about him slapping Chris at the Oscar Awards.
And let's. I mean, if we're gonna go, I mean, it makes more sense for him to go on her show because they're a married couple that. Viewership is going to go to them. It's not going to go to a morning show or something like that. So it makes more sense to do it on her Red Table Talk show.
Now, hold on. That part should be what you call planned.
That
you
is
saying
planned.
That's just a good reaction. Like that ain't planned already.
I said it in the beginning. I said that's to help her viewership on her show.
Sources close to the situation tell Radar Will and his team have been bombarded with offers from outlets pleading with the Academy Award winner to choose them as a high outlet to talk about as his outlet to talk about Chris. So obviously that's already went on. Chris Rock came out, didn't press charges. Then he had his first show.
He was never going to press charges.
The man's ticket prices. This is the important part. well, one of the important things, the men's ticket prices went up from $50-something to $500.
It was a win-win situation for everybody that was involved in this.
Now Chris Rock, look, to me personally, I really have never found Chris Rock that funny.
The only person who suffered from this is Will Smith.
That's my point.
Because his image.
Just hold on. I've never found Chris Rock funny.
No. Oh.
I've never found Chris Rock's, what's the word I'm looking for? Chris Rock.
He has white comedian. He appeals to the white audience. Chris
Rock, let's be honest, he's not really, I don't want to say it like this. Is Chris Rock really relevant as a comedian? When you start talking about the top comedians, I mean, there's only like 3 comedians that's really talked about consistently, isn't it? I mean, the people I grew up around and know, you probably would hear Mike Epps' name before you hear Chris Rock.
Yeah.
You would hear Cat Williams. You would hear those type of names way before you hear Chris Rock.
You definitely would hear Cat Williams. He's not even the same bracket.
For him to be at $500 ticket prices because they want to hear what he got to say, all of a sudden you're starting to see people respond to Chris Rock like he's the cool guy now. Oh, Chris handled that so cool. He's a man's man, unlike that simp Will. I'm just like, they are destroying. I mean, you got to understand, this is Will Smith. He came in as the rapper. He went into the Fresh Prince. He became the Fresh Prince. The image that was given to him and created for him throughout the 90s. And then you had Mike Lowry.
Well, that's what happens when you're going through a shaming ritual. It's time to destroy all of that.
Go ahead and
put
jump
out a new image.
Yep.
That's what happens.
Okay, so let's get to it. So we're still in the time period of Will Smith's shaming ritual. This started with obviously the situation he had with the entanglement, where the full facts didn't come out because there was some stuff that was said in the beginning that kind of got erased, and it became just about Jada.
Like what?
That he wasn't just there for Jada.
Exactly.
But he wasn't just there for Jada and Will either.
He was there for the whole damn family.
I mean, y'all heard it too. Don't like you ain't see it. You ain't see people saying this stuff too. The rumors was that he was there for all of them. And we got somebody else who may be connected to that situation where they may have been another one of the Smiths families. What we would call.
I don't know about the daughter
objects.
though.
Huh?
I don't know about the daughter.
Who?
Willow.
Why would she say that? Why wouldn't she be part of it?
Well, she stated that she's asexual. She really doesn't like.
Too.
Oh,
the son said he want. Remember he would go around and say he want to cut off his own junk.
Oh well.
Remember we was talk about around 2000. What was that? 9, 10, 11. When people was like, them kids is crazy.
It's a deity. Never mind.
When people like, them kids is crazy, and they started reacting to what's her name? Willow just came out with a thing some time ago saying how the black community kind of separated themselves from her.
Well, y'all fucking weirdos.
Remember who was it? Was it the little dude walking around in who was he walking around in?
Who?
Jaden. He walking around in something and black people started roasting him like, this kid is weird.
He was wearing dresses at one point.
It was something that I don't know if it was I don't remember what it was. But anyway, we know the rumors around that. So for him now to be Will Smith to be trending next to the word simp and cuck, like, you don't think that's
the word is just so vulgar?
You don't think that's like a crazy drop?
They probably like all that stuff you be saying and you talk about it. That word,
what?
Vulgar.
What?
I don't like that.
It's not a cuss word.
It's not. I know it's not a cuss word. It's just when you say it.
It's an old word. It's like them old words really hit. When you hear old person, that's why when an old person cuss you out, they say something that really.
They really cuss you from A to Z because they know.
You hear some things you ain't never heard.
What? What did you call me? Pardon me?
Yeah, remember people get mad when you say pardon me. That's how.
Pardon me is a cuss word to some black people.
Yeah. Another thing that happened recently, this has happened today. Will Smith resigns from Academy after inexcusable actions at Oscars. Now, I thought, you looked this up and found out what the Academy admission, how do you even get in? What did you find?
So it says membership. Membership is the Academy is by invitation only. Invitation comes from Board of Governors. Membership eligibility must be achieved by earning a competitive Oscar nomination or by sponsorship of 2 current Academy members for the same branch to which the candidate seeks admission. So there's 17 branches.
Yeah, it's separated: cameraman, actor, stunt, all that stuff.
But the crazy part is,
I guess they're the ones who vote for who win, right?
Yeah, you have to receive. You have to give it an invitation. And if you're not giving that, somebody who is already a member, two people have to like recommend you.
So those are the people who choose who win the Oscars. So wouldn't that mean connections mean more than talent?
Exactly. That's why you have people who say, I wonder why I've never got an Oscar.
So there's a certain level of power in being
that goes
on
to
the
what?
Academy, because you have influence.
So what do actors have to do? They have to social network. They got to lay down and get down with other, like.
So is they taking away Will Smith's privileges?
Yeah. Or
with this?
He just taking a hit because this is what he had to do, and behind the scenes, he's still part of it. He just had to come out publicly and say he's resigning. Because he didn't want. They probably said either you got to give your Oscar back, or
resign from the Academy.
Resign for the Academy.
Well, which one? The Oscar let me make more money in my movies.
Exactly. The membership don't do shit for me.
At least now he's already.
You already got an Oscar, so you don't really need it no more.
I wonder if he got a new movie coming out soon.
Probably do. When that book coming out?
It already came out, didn't it?
Oh, the book already came out
last November, December 1. But here's another thing.
What is going to be the final?
When
thing.
The reaction that I've seen by the public, like, he is hated now. Like, this is Will Smith.
But what have you seen? I haven't really seen that.
I'm sorry. The white people.
Yeah.
You got to understand, a chunk of his audience, especially in his YouTube channel and stuff, people. They are at his neck
I wonder if he has a lot of people that has unsubscribed from his YouTube page.
I don't know. I would have thought that's where he would have did his response at.
No, his wife need them views.
Yeah, she's not going to allow him to do it on his own.
They use the word allow, but we know they both in cahoots. Going on the Red Table Talk.
Here you go. Now look at this. Shit. I got to go to some black people that had some people that had some things to say. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar says Will Smith perpetuated stereotypes about the black community by slapping Chris Rock at
and you know
now,
what?
Pause. Hold on. Now, look what he said right there. Just right there. Do you agree him doing something like that at the Oscars is a bad image?
No, I don't think it's a bad image at all.
Why?
On site is on site.
They didn't have no beef, did they?
They had beef when I got to wait for the full details to come out on Red Table Talk, so I can't really comment on whether or not they had beef or not, right?
Well, as far as we know, they ain't had no beef.
I don't know what was said, what clicked in him.
He said something about his wife,
he said something about his wife being a bald-headed scallywag.
No, hold on. You just had it. He said he called her G.I. Jane. And at first, she kind of gave the eye roll. Will Smith.
The camera blinked.
Laughed. He went up, fired on him, walked away.
Supposedly fired on him.
Another video has came out. After he slapped him, Jada Pinkett was smiling and laughing and clapping.
So she sent him up there to do that.
She put a battery in his back. Allegedly. How many dudes have had batteries put in their back and it led to their death?
Exactly.
Or in prison?
Like last week when the woman called the white man the cracker.
Oh yeah.
And she tried to put that battery in them to beat that white man's. You know what?
Really wanted something. You really wanted to.
But let's talk about
that. Hold on. No, you really wanted to correct that sister day because she was really.
Yes, I did because she knew what she was doing. You started it.
All right, now
and you wanted us to go in and finish it when you should have just.
Those dudes. Hold on, don't say us. It was just some men there with her that maybe she.
Okay, then we're all individuals. We're not a monolith. I guess that's what Mr. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is. You know what? You said, you talking about perpetuating stereotypes. You perpetuating the stereotype that when a black man go off and get successful, he go out and get other women and have these strange kids run around stabbing elderly people.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's son, this is how I know, for the most part, I don't keep up with people's personal lives. I didn't know who he's ever married or anything.
You never know.
Based off his politics.
And it's always the pro-black ones that have these other women with all these different biracial mixed kids running around here.
Well, you think based off his politics and how he's connected to Muhammad Ali and connected to all those people.
And he was connecting with
Jim Brown.
He was connecting with all races, trying to unite us.
Same thing with Jim Brown. Now, this is one of his sons. Adam Abdul-Jabbar's 60-year-old neighbor nearly died from a blood loss after he was stabbed with a hunting knife, authorities said.
Boy looked like a Jewish person.
So he had this dispute with his older neighbor about a trash can. He went on to stab the man, ended up fracturing his skull, and the man nearly died. But he only was sentenced to 180 days in jail.
He should have been. He
And
should have got some years on his ass.
Probation.
Should have got some years in prison on his ass.
And the judge in this case, by the way, the judge in the case, his name is where's this at? Oh, here you go. The victim, Raymond Windsor, who was 60 years old at the time of the incident, June 9, 2020, suffered injuries to the back of the head, back, neck, and his side. Prosecutors said that Abdul-Jabbar's actions were so severe that he fractured the Windsor skull, and that Windsor nearly died from the blood loss after he collapsed outside the hospital. Now, see right here, it said Abdul-Jabbar accepted a plea offer to Orange County Superior Court Judge Derek Johnson. Now, this Judge Derek Johnson was reprimanded once for saying that a woman can stop herself from being assaulted.
How can a woman stop herself?
He said that their body can react the way where it can't happen.
How?
Don't ask me. This is what he said. He said that one of the women who came in and said this happened to her, he said she didn't fight. So this is the type of judge you're dealing with. So I want to know who that woman.
I'm not gonna be
that
vulgar.
woman. I wonder who that woman is that he accused. The man she accused. I wonder who he is. Is he a person with connections and influence?
Probably so.
Because we know why he got off. Because of his father.
Exactly. That's what you need to be worried about, raising your kids.
And then his mother is a Indian woman, if I'm not mistaken.
No, his mother is a white woman. Her name is Judy something.
Oh,
his particular mother is white. That's his last son. She's white.
Oh, okay.
The other ones are Indian. But that one right there is a white woman.
He got the afro.
He had to get one in with that white woman.
He got the afro too. Lord,
I told you like a Jewish person.
Oh, man. Let me show another person that came out and said something. And I'm showing this for a reason. We're going to get to it. Jim Carrey, who I said has very strong comments about this. Once again, right after this happened, immediately they get interviewed with Jim Carrey. All these comments start getting made, almost like it's understood who's going to say what when. It's all orchestrated like, all right, This is what you're going to say. Because the person whose comments got the most light would be Jim Carrey's.
They all had their script handed to them. They went to the table to read.
Now look at this. This is what Jim Carrey did at the show.
And the award goes to Jim Carrey, the cable guy.
I was sickened by the standing ovation. I felt like Hollywood is just spineless, en masse. And it really felt like, oh, this is a really clear indication that we're not the cool club anymore.
There was some question today about if anyone else had walked from the audience and done that, they would have been escorted out by security or maybe even arrested. The police asked Chris if he wanted to file charges. They asked Chris, do you want to file charges? And Chris apparently said no.
Ugh.
Now, this part is what got me.
Is that a cigar in his mouth?
I don't know. Probably his tongue.
Did you see the way Alicia Silverstone looked after he kissed her? She had the disgusting. She
had the same look that Drake had after Madonna, with the Madonna that kissed him at the award show.
It was like
disgusting, like
breath stinking.
Now, when I saw this, I was like, did this really happen the same night? So the same night he put his kissed that girl on stage, is the same night he tried to kiss Will Smith in the audience.
Wow.
But you know, Will Smith, remember when he had that interview on the carpet and the guy tried to kiss him, he did a little slap. But then he was kissing his son on the carpet. Remember Will Smith kissed Jaden? Really grabbed him by the face and like wet kissed him.
He was joking, dude.
You think that's a normal thing to do?
No, it's not a normal thing to do. My daddy ain't never.
So I don't know what you meant by that joking comment. That ain't no joke.
Dude, I was just trying to throw some lightness to the situation.
Ain't nothing
like Brown Jackson did. Okay. Our new Supreme Court justice, possibly.
What? That went over my head.
Maybe you'll come back to it. If you ain't catch it, I can't help you.
Her husband, right?
Her last name is Brown Jackson. Yes. She was on about the pedophile she let get 3 months because of the stuff. Oh, yeah. Damn, Nick. I don't know what to tell you.
So obviously Jim Carrey had comments and social media was on his ass. And another person had comments.
This white woman.
Zoë Kravitz. Ain't her father Lenny Kravitz?
Her father is Lenny Kravitz, whose father is a white Jewish man. And his mother is the woman from the Jeffersons, the neighbor that was with the white man. Art imitates life.
Yeah,
and then her mother is Lisa Bonet, who happens to be a biracial woman as well. It's just her father is black and her mother is white. So she's not black.
Jesus,
she's got it. She hit it right on the head. She got it right.
So
you don't got no identity issues, baby. You a white woman and it's okay.
Zoë Kravitz calls out Will Smith's slap at Oscars. We are apparently assaulting people on stage now.
Oh, like you wanted to assault somebody else?
I've seen more reactions.
Allegedly.
I've seen more reactions from this slap than I did from Alec Baldwin shooting a woman.
Because it's a black man.
He shot somebody.
Look at Gail. She always got to do an interview when it's involving a black man.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Except for she was involved with that one too.
The Oscars got 15 FCC complaints about the slap. Did we see one complaint from the FCC on any news station when they showed George Floyd getting his neck kneed on?
Nope.
They allowed that video to play everywhere
because that was propaganda to
So you can show a black man dying,
rioting, and
you can show him dying, but you can't show him slapping somebody. That's too violent.
No,
we're okay with the systematic violence. I've seen people say that they're okay with the systematic violence, but they're not okay with the you doing it domestic. You do it yourself. Slapping somebody is way more offensive than showing a video constantly of somebody having a knee on their neck.
Y'all should get people who have a little more of a clean image and don't write shit online when y'all have them act out this stuff.
Yeah. So Zoe,
y'all go get the worst of the worst.
This chick, Zoë Kravitz. Social media went and got everything they could find on her. I'm gonna show you this. You see here, this is her. She said, I think I'll take a black walk and have a black talk with my black friend, maybe have some black lunch, watch a black movie, sing a black song, smoke a black bong, then take a black nap in my black bed and my back sheets and some black dreams. Happen to be black, just don't need to say it in front of everything. Art is art. So she was doing this whole, I'm an artist, not a black artist.
Oh, like what's his name? What's his name? The one that's with Steve Harvey's daughter. Michael B. Jordan.
Oh, yeah.
He said he don't want to be known as a
black actor.
A black actor. He wants to be known as a actor. So when y'all look at him, don't look at him as a black actor. Look at him as an actor. So when a movie is terrible, which a couple movies he's been in for the past has been terrible and not been up to standard, don't try to cape for him because he's a black man. Say, no, you're an actor and you're terrible in this movie. And this movie was terrible.
I always find it funny when they say stuff like this. Like the word black is restraining them.
It is. Because
it's a ceiling for them.
They view it as, I don't want to be known as a black actor. I want to be known as an actor. I don't want to just be cast in the typical black roles. I want to be in like movies with, what's his name? Leonardo DiCaprio. I want to be in those type movies. I don't want to be in the Chitlin circuit movies.
Oh,
terrible how they do us. And then look at Tyler Perry showed up.
Then there's another one here. She said, but it was only her parents' celebrity that hampered Kravitz's ability to feel like she belonged while growing up. As one of the few black kids in her predominantly white school, she remembers saying things like, I'm just as white as y'all to her classmates. I identified with white culture and wanted to fit in, she says. I didn't identify with black culture. Like, I didn't like Tyler Perry movies. And I wasn't into hip hop music. I like Neil Young. Neil Young is the guy who came out against Joe Rogan.
Yep, said he's taking his stuff off of Spotify.
Now, what I'm mad at in this whole situation, the only thing I'm mad about is her linking Tyler Perry to black culture.
Well, Tyler Perry, come on. Tyler Perry is black culture, dude. We may not like every movie or every TV show
don't like
he put
every
out.
Movie.
There's some movies that, hold on. There's some movies that are okay.
Name three.
What's the movie with
no, you gotta name
Lathan?
It. Oh, you think it's a good movie?
It gives a true depiction of stuff.
I would not call it a good movie.
Okay. Some movies he gives
No,
a
you
depiction.
gonna try to name the other two?
It'll come to me.
Exactly. So,
But yeah,
her Lincoln. So because she didn't like Tyler Perry, to her that is the basis of black culture. If I don't like Tyler Perry, then I can't be.
well, at one time, let's not kid it. In the mid 2000s, Tyler Perry was
That don't mean it was good. See,
he was on a wave.
No, was it good?
Okay, now we're not gonna sit here and act like we wasn't watching the plays back in the day and getting a little kick.
I watch a lot of movies that's bad.
Yeah, he's not the only one that put out bad movies.
Why you bring up other people now?
Okay, whatever.
I mean,
I'm
if
not
you're
gonna
gonna defend Tyler Perry,
I'm
do
not
it.
gonna-
Don't soft shoe it. Don't act like it.
I don't soft shoe shit.
Let's do it. Defend him.
What I'm saying is, we're not gonna sit here and pretend like Tyler Perry is not a staple in the black culture, because he is. You may not like all his movies, all his plays, all his TV shows, but he has put out material in the black community that some people find entertaining. And she clearly said him because she grew up in the mid 2000s and he was pretty popular at that time.
You think his popularity has dropped?
Yeah, his popularity has dropped.
There's a reason why he still make movies. He make the most money for Lionsgate that they ever made.
I don't think Tyler Perry is as relevant as he was maybe 5 years ago.
He just released another movie on Netflix.
On Netflix.
That means he's still bringing in money.
Okay, because black women watching that shit.
It ain't just we're not gonna just throw this on black women. It's some dudes watching it too, I'm sure.
Particularly black women is his
All right,
audience.
anyway,
dude.
a big tent of this undertaking involves choosing roles that don't focus on her race. I don't want to play everyone's best friend. She explains, I don't want to play the role of a girl struggling in the ghetto. It is not it is not that story isn't important, but I saw patterns and I was like, I don't relate to these people. Jesus. Kravitz agent knows not to pass her scripts where her race is a key factor. But then she went on to say she understands her black culture now and she identifies as a black woman.
I'm not offended by anything that she's saying, because she's not a black woman. She is a white woman. Let her be.
Now, this is the actual part I want to talk about. The rest of that stuff is just, it's joking. But this is actually important.
Hide your kids.
Now, this article, the title is a little, but hide your kids, serial swirler. Zoë Kravitz admits trying to chop down 14-year-old Jaden Smith on the set of a new flick After Earth.
She's only a swirler if she would have went after Jaden.
Even more awesome for Zoe was spending time with Smith Clan when the cameras weren't rolling. Now, we've seen a couple of people that have been announced to be a part of their group. I can't remember
That's
the girls.
the breaking you in
That's what I say. There was a girl a few years ago. I remember a strange video came out with the whole family, and it was this girl that was there. I believe she was with Willow.
But she never got popular.
And they said that we taking her under our wing. She's going to be with us for a little while. And I just thought,
she didn't work out.
that was right after the August thing came out. And I was like, ain't y'all doing the same thing y'all did with him? Y'all bringing another slightly older than your children person coming in to live with y'all. It was very strange. There were moments that I was hanging with Jada and thinking, I can't believe you're 14. I have to check myself, like what I say to you. She laughs. He has so much personality and so much swag. He's so much cooler than I am. And he's so handsome. I was like, when you're older, we'll hang out. Nope, that's inappropriate. You're 14. What are the odds that she was another person that was used as some type of sex kitten for them?
Probably so.
When I found out, you showed me a while ago that Jada was in a rock group in the early 2000s.
That's why her daughter is in a rock.
It made me go, oh. So that told me that changed my view of her energy immediately.
And when I found that when she started putting out the stuff that she actually Metallica music and all that stuff,
Yeah.
it started to make sense. Even though we go back and look at her roles, she always played the black hood movies.
And remember, she came out and said that she was
sassy.
Yeah, you remember she said she was a sex addict.
Yeah.
I thought,
and she got a couple white men in her bag too.
It's not even about the race. I'm pretty sure it's men of all type of different origins. And I'm sure there's some others in there too.
Yeah, Hispanics too.
No, I'm not talking about men. I'm talking about women.
Oh yeah, she got those in there. Probably the queen.
Will Smith. Remember what's his name?
Like the movie Said It All.
Remember Will Smith? Who was he? Who was the woman that said that he took her husband?
No, he didn't take. It wasn't her.
It wasn't her.
It was Dwayne Martin.
Yeah, she didn't say
Will
that about
Smith
him.
didn't have nothing to do with that. Lisa Ray.
Who did she accuse of that?
Lisa Ray accused Dwayne Martin not of taking her man, them being together. Like
I know.
he was going out and hanging with him, and she think he was influencing him to be with other women.
Okay, I'm sorry.
She was like, "You were my friend, Dwayne Martin. You were my friend."
Yeah, I misquoted that. But isn't the alleged secret relationship between him and Will Smith?
Dwayne Martin and Will Smith allegedly have been.
And Dwayne Martin is on the new show Bel Air.
Yeah, but they're friends. They're best friends.
We'll give him that. They're best friends.
But yeah, if you're my friend, I'm gonna hook you up with a job.
That's true.
Tisha Campbell laid out everything that was going on.
Yeah,
she left. She got out of there. Immediately went back to Martin Lawrence,
and
the man she accused.
Didn't they say they having a new sit
reunion?
down? Yeah, and they're gonna talk about that part.
Somebody, I just saw on the Comedy Hype news, a director made a remake of Martin.
Yeah,
but he put a twist on it. He made Pam and Tommy the focus characters, and made Martin and Gina the
side
characters. And it actually wasn't that bad, because it was Pam can't find a man, Tommy can't find because he was having relationship problems too.
Yeah.
And then Cole liked Pam. But they made Cole kind of psycho.
Hold on. So they're doing the same thing they did to Bel Air.
It's a drama, though. It's a drama.
They're doing the same thing that the dude who did the Bel Air thing on YouTube, he turned Fresh Prince of Bel Air to a drama.
They're doing the same thing for Martin.
Which means they're gonna do the same thing for all the old shows.
Yeah, but they're making Pam, and he made Pam and Tommy the focus point.
We'll hear about it in another year or so, whether or not they greenlight it.
So we'll see.
So there's rumors about them being, for a long time we kept hearing there was this open relationship. Yeah. I'm wondering, are they some type of sex cult?
Probably so.
Where they bring in people and they kind of nurture them into the Hollywood experience.
This is all alleged.
This is all allegedly. I'm just saying, I found it crazy how it just so happened she says this about him having this energy towards him, and she said she was around the Smith clan. I mean,
the Smith clan will break you in. Literally.
They one of the groups in Hollywood.
They get you ready.
So yeah.
You still on? Okay.
All right. Let's go to the next part now. Hold on. Now we into the something real.
I'm in glee. I love it.
Sorry. California groups votes to limit reparations to slave descendants.
As they should.
Now, I saw another article that said that by doing this, I think they said it'll go down to 6% of the population in California will be able to be eligible. So it's gonna cut out a lot of people because you have to have been a slave in California.
Well, yeah, that makes sense.
So black people who are Black American aren't going to get it.
Well,
you got to go back to their state.
Yeah, you got to go back to your state and fight.
Oh, what are you doing? You do the.
No, what I'm saying is it makes sense for people. Well, that ain't going. Well, how many? I'm trying to think. California wasn't even. When did California become a state?
What do you mean?
When did California become a state? Because you said you would have to have been a slave in the state of California to qualify, right?
Yeah.
I mean, California wasn't known for having a lot of slaves there.
That's the point.
So that's why California probably was willing to give up this reparations, because they knew it was going to be a high percentage of people who descend from slavery in their state.
So here you go.
Oh, so California was made a state in September 9th, 1850. Slavery ended in, what, 1865?
Yeah.
So that was what, 15 years?
Wait, what?
1850 to
1850
to 1850 to 1865. That's only 15 years.
Not that's 18. You say 1850, 1854.
1850.
Oh, okay. But here's it right here. California First and Nation Task Force on Reparations voted Tuesday to limit state compensation to descendants of free and enslaved Black people who were in the U.S. in the 19th century, nearly rejecting a proposal to include all black people regardless of lineage. The vote was split 5-4, and the hours-long debate was at times testy and emotional. Near the end, the Reverend Amos Brown, president of the San Francisco branch of the NAACP and vice chair of the task force, pleaded with the commission to move ahead with a clear definition of who would be eligible for restitution. Please, 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 I beg us tonight, take the first step, he said. We've got to give emergency treatment to where it is needed. Governor Gavin Newsom signed legislation creating the 2-year reparations task force in 2020, making California the only state to move ahead with the study and the plan with the mission to study the institution of slavery and its harms and educate the public about its findings. So this is not even, is this really for money or this is just for
repair?
No, this is just to research it. But reparation at the federal level has not gone anywhere, but cities and universities are taking up the issue. The mayor in Providence, Rhode Island, announced a city commission in February, while the city of Boston is considering a proposal to form its own reparation commission. New York just got started one too, or they have one too. New York
and other countries.
What?
Other countries too.
I'm talking about one of these right here. The reason why I say that one because New York's have a lot more of the people that the people that the ADOS,
oh my God, New York.
the people that the ADOS people dislike are all over the New York one, and we're gonna talk about that later. Hold on. The Chicago suburban.
You should. Okay, we talking about it later.
The Chicago suburban Evanston, Illinois, became the first U.S. city to make reparations available to black residents last year. Although there are some who say that the program had just nothing to right a wrong. California's task force members, nearly all of whom can trace their families back to their enslaved ancestors in the U.S., were aware that the deliberations over a pivotal question would shape reparation discussions across the country. The members were appointed by the governor and the leaders of the 2 legislative members. Those favoring a lineage approach said that the compensation and restitution plan based on genealogy as opposed to race has the best chance of surviving a legal challenge. They also opened eligibility to free black people who were migrated to the country before the 20th century, giving possible difficulties in documenting family history and the risk at the time of becoming enslaved. Others of the task force argued that reparations should include all black people in the U.S. who suffer from systemic racism in housing, education, and employment, and said they were defining eligibility too soon in the process. Hold on. Would you agree with that part? You haven't actually been offered anything yet. So is it kind of too early to be saying who should get it when you haven't even been offered anything?
Yeah, because you need to define who's going to get what before you even start being offered anything. You need to define who's going to receive it and who's not going to receive it, who's eligible for it, and then you'll know what you're going to get.
But what they offering you is not even what you thought you're going to get?
They still shouldn't get it because they're not part of the slavery thing.
All right.
So it's not a lose situation.
Civil rights attorney and task force members Lisa Holder proposed directing economics working with the task force of the California estimate 2.6 million black residents to calculate compensation while the continuing hearing on the public. We need to galvanize the base, and that is black people, she said. We can't go into this reparation proposal without having all African Americans in California behind us. But Camilla Moore, a lawyer and chair of the task force, said expanding eligibility would create its own fissures and was beyond the purpose of the committee. That is going to aggrieve the victims of the institution of slavery, which are the direct descendants of the enslaved people of the United States. She said it goes against the spirit of the law as written. So as you can see, so I'm sure you are in agreement with that 100%.
Oh, and you not?
Can I finish my sentence? As am I.
Yeah.
You ain't even gonna get nothing from this and you happy.
I am getting something from this.
What?
My fellow black people are finally getting what they deserve in California. See, I'm not selfish.
There you go.
Right, I'm willing to sit from the sidelines and watch while my people get theirs.
All right.
Unlike the immigrants.
The immigrants, they're not even people no more?
That is people. What you want me to call them, dude? You want me to call them by where they come from? The Jamaicans, the Haitians, the Nigerian. You want me to call them by where they descend?
You know, it's funny. Why is it when people say a country from Africa, they always say Nigerian?
Because they the top dogs over there. That's why they come over here, because they want to they want to be the top dogs over here, but they can't do it. Sorry.
Let's go here.
I give props to them. They the top dogs.
As Boston weighs the reparation commission, questions and costs of control arise. Ever questions $100 per hour stipends for commission member. So in Boston, they're having one of these, and the people that's a part of this commission, are going to get $100 an hour. So that means you can just take all day long.
And they're gonna take all. Is it a black committee? Is it a
Boston moves to establish a commission charged with crafting a municipal reparations policy, District 1 City Council Lydia Edwards is raising questions about the potential cost of such a commission and how its membership will be determined. Proponents say reparations will provide meaningful recognition and compensation for descendants of people harmed by years of racist policies dating back to legally sanctioned enslavement. Boston City Council's first step in the process is creating a commission responsible for drafting a policy which will detail who is eligible for reparations and how payments will be handled. At a Monday hearing at Boston City's Council Government Operations Committee, it was noted that, as currently conceived, the commission would include 15 members who would be paid $100 hourly, with compensation capped at $50,000 annually, as well as an executive director and assistant. So the most they can make doing this is $50K a year.
So that means they can't just sit around and take their time.
I mean, that's $50K. That's an extra. That's $50K a year.
Are they black people getting this though?
I mean, it's a commission. I would imagine the same one in California is all black.
Okay, then I don't have a problem with it.
I think they had one Asian, one Jewish.
Why shouldn't they get paid for being on the task force?
$100 an hour?
Oh, niggas can't get nothing.
Oh, hey, that could put
$100 an hour.
That could put us. That could put us that at a well over or close to $1 million a year in order to operate the commission. That means the commission will be $1 million a year.
Okay, if the city cannot afford to do it, then don't do it.
I don't know that any other commission that has ever created by a body or a mayor's office has a budget that high.
I don't think it's black people on it.
Edward also questioned the plan to reserve 5 commission slots for representatives of specific organizations, including the NAACP Boston branch and a New Democracy Coalition, who would then choose 10 other commission members in consultation with the city council and the mayor, Michelle Wu. That's the woman who just got voted in.
Are they gonna end up taking this money out of the reparation people?
Take their money for reparations.
They're like, we're gonna have to take the money we're giving you to pay for the people, the committee.
Nah. Why aren't the city councils able to not just consult but confirm who's going to be on the commission as well? Edwards asked. We're giving specific organizations a lot of power over $1 million budget, and they're not elected. I don't know why they got picked. So this person is asking, who are these people, and who's gonna choose who gets picked on? Because this is a lot of money going to this. So we need to know who's getting picked to be on this commission.
I'm telling you who they are. If they willing to spend this amount of money on them, they ain't niggas.
At large, Boston City Council, Councilor Julia Mahia, one of the lead counselors of the ordinance that would create the commission, later said that the organizations in question have a long track record on reparations. So I wonder, I got to ask this question. Are the people they're going to choose? Oh, here you go. The process should be gentle and should be forgiving so that we can address the issue of the proper context, Anderson said, but also with heart and more than just a bureaucratic delayed tactics or nuances that are trying to create so that they can argue our points and the people that we represent. Later in the hearing, Edwards identified the scope of possibility of reparations as a key question that still needs to be hashed out. I am African American. She said, I can tell you the slave ancestors I've come from in the country, but I don't come from Boston. So that's another question I would have. Is the reparation conversation only for African American descendants of slaves in the city of Boston, from the city of Boston, that can trace their ancestry back to slavery in Boston? We don't have that answer, she added. By the way, earlier when I said that the reparations were for Black Americans in California, that's what I believe, by the way. I think it's specific for Black Americans who were enslaved in California.
So you don't know for sure, and you just threw some shit to the wall.
Ain't no shit to the wall. I've seen this. I read this places, but I don't.
Sloppy journalism at its best.
I had to make sure. Let me make sure I say that I believe that that's how it goes.
Yeah, because somebody will come in the comment section and cook your ass. You use a damn lie. I live in California and I'm getting reparations.
I keep trying to find that clip. What's the channel name? It's a channel name of a black dude who got glasses on. He got a pretty big, large following. He be talking about topics like this, and
he's on Young Turks.
He's associated with them. He has his own channel and network.
He's a part of there.
But it was one episode where he was talking about something, and he was like my grandmama used to say, "Use a damn lie," and a woman behind the camera started laughing.
His crew.
Hey, yeah, use a damn lie.
She couldn't help it. Brought back memories.
Yeah, we don't have the answer to that. She added the commission could easily say it's going to be anybody who is perceived as being part of the legacy of slavery, because just because you are not directly descended from slaves here, you certainly could experience the racial oppression from that. Edwards also suggested that rather than creating a commission that could operate indefinitely, the city should simply establish an office dedicated to reparations instead. According to Anderson, the Department of Reparations is in fact a long-term goal. The whole point is so that the commission can turn into a department, hopefully, right? Sarah Fernandez Anderson. Let's talk about the specifics in it. Is the commission for a couple years? And does that make sense? Do we go straight into a department? So they asking the questions in Boston, like, how we gonna handle this? And like I said, the one in New York.
Listen, I don't even, when the one in New York happened, I don't even want to look at it. I don't want to be involved.
You're not involved in any. Hold on, let me check you right quick.
Involved as far as being
okay
supportive.
Well, hold on. What's supportive?
Just by watching it and giving your opinion on it and rooting for them is being supportive.
I agree with that, but I'm wondering.
But the New York one, I'm telling you flat out, the immigrants is gonna get it. It don't even get involved with the New York one. I'm telling you, they are gonna be adamant about the black immigrants getting it in New York. So you might as well shut the fuck up and let them do what they want to do there, because it's gonna happen.
I don't know, man.
Shit.
There's a lot of black Americans in New York. They could trade. They from Mississippi, North Carolina, South Carolina.
I think it's more black immigrants in New York than it is black Americans.
What?
I believe so.
No.
We need to look that up.
It's not. Yes, it's definitely more black Americans.
How much was it?
Well, when I saw it, it said 2 million black Americans and about 600,000 black immigrants.
And we don't know how many immigrants are identifying themselves as black Americans.
I just told you, yes, it's right there. They consider the Caribbean and Afro-Latino.
Some people who are black immigrants mark down that they're African American, dude. That's proven.
Well, none of the numbers mean anything then.
That's true. They don't mean anything.
So why are we talking about it if they don't mean nothing?
Because I want to talk about it.
Wait, so you don't believe the numbers are right, but you still want to use them?
What?
You don't believe the numbers are right, but you still want to use them?
Listen, I just asked you to look at the numbers so that you can feel comfortable.
No, I looked at the number because you wanted to know.
Well, I already knew. You were really disturbed about what I said, so.
How am I disturbed? You made a point.
You're a disturbed individual.
And you made a point. I said I disagree. This right here is what I believe. And now you're telling me look up numbers. And you say they don't mean nothing.
I did that to help you out.
All right. I'm gonna show some clips now from the commission in California. I want to show a black immigrant, Javon Lewis, the dude I told you, who was supportive of
fake support.
How is it fake support if he's? I don't even care. Let me just show.
Now,
who was in support of a lineage-based program?
Now, what's important to remember is that, and listen, I am a non-descendant of U.S. chattel slavery black person. My people were enslaved, but not here. And so I recognize, what you're saying. But what we have to appreciate is that all of the anti-blackness that all black people face when they come from wherever they may come from to the United States is an anti-blackness that was designed intentionally, and expertly refined against the population of black people who were enslaved in this country. They are the reference of anti-blackness that other black people, once they arrive at whatever stage of arrival, are catching hell because of the sheer purpose, of the anti-blackness against descendants of enslaved Africans Americans in this country. So it stands to reason that if we remedy, that initial injury, meaning if we provide reparation for the injuries faced by this particular community and their descendants, that the benefits, meaning changing the actual terms of Black life more broadly in the country, will benefit people like myself.
There you go.
Ain't his wife Black American?
I don't know.
I could have sworn I thought somebody said his wife was Black American.
I don't look, man. I don't.
So the money going to his household anyway if she's a Californian. So
look,
he's a
man,
win
you gotta
situation
get rid of that
for
venom.
him. I ain't got no fucking venom. I'm just telling the truth.
You got a lot of venom towards some people, man.
I don't got a lot of venom towards no people.
All right.
A couple people I do, but
facts. So
yeah, let that go. Now I saw another
clip. Let shit go.
I got another clip of Camilla Moore. She pretty much called out one of the NARRC people.
Didn't she go on Roland Martin?
Who?
Camilla Moore?
I don't think that's the team about. I'm thinking about her. Maybe you are. Maybe her.
Yeah, she was the one that went on the video clip we showed with Roland Martin last week.
Well, this is what she had to say there.
Facts. Some anchor orgs have reached out to me stating that they believe that they had to use their stipend for these recording equipment, technician, and other logistical support costs. Although the contract clearly states that the Bunch Center is supposed to be providing logistical support to these anchor orgs. So in summary, I'm putting on record my concerns, not only with the Bunch Center, but with the two communication firms that were also recruited by eMember Grills. The two communication firms clearly hosted a meeting outside of their scope of work. They have not promoted or created any graphics for the hearings. In fact, I reached out to them via email asking if promotional graphics were a part of their deliverables, and they didn't respond, which then I had to create the flyers for myself. I had to create the flyers on my own to send out to social media. We have given the Bunch Center and these two communication firms upwards to $1 million to do a job, and they're not doing it by virtue of what has been stated in the contract. This is a serious concern, and that is why I know we don't have enough time because the agenda for this particular item is only set for 5 minutes, but these concerns have to be addressed sooner rather than later. I will be talking about this more tomorrow to entertain a motion to get a comprehensive conversation about this at our next meeting, and then also to see about opening up the process again. I think this is what Dr. Brown was pointing to at the beginning of this process, where he was calling for transparency. We may have to open up the process again to allow other folks the opportunity, other communication firms, other people like the Bunch Center, to come in and to give an open and public presentation to the public about what they can do and what deliverables they can bring to this process.
Didn't she basically just say there's $1 million being wasted?
Like they talking about $1 million gonna be wasted in Boston?
No, she's saying that some people were paid to do some stuff
and didn't do it, and she had to end up doing stuff herself.
You see, this is the Twitter account. So I got this from Non-Human Media. He said Camilla Moore explains how communication groups recruited by Cheryl Grills, the woman who's in that video in the top right, were paid upwards of $1 million to basically do nothing.
I'm not surprised. They probably paid them.
She's with that NARRC group.
NARC.
Yeah, like in Coburg and all them.
Yeah, you remember those? You remember those old women they had on?
Yeah.
Do you think they paid them for coming on there?
They were witnesses. So maybe, I don't know. What's her name? That woman, Lisa Holder.
Mm-hmm.
I think she might have been on there. Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Here's another one where they were talking about how the lineage-based thing won't work. Let me show.
But bottom line, to become a genealogist, there are no educational requirements. And for some people, this is a hobby. We can go through, and I listen to all of the genealogy folks. Not one of them, I would say all of them, I would trust to go through my genealogy. I've had the Mormons go through mine. They can only go back to 1940.
What?
That's
now,
a lie.
I saw that this dude right here was born in the 1950s.
So they can only go 10 years?
They couldn't get to your grandmother, your grandmother.
Yeah, the Mormons do it.
Look, man, I don't know if it's accurate, but I was able to trace ours all the way back to the 18s. If I want to be honest, cleanly, I could trace us back to the 1860s or was it 1860s, I believe. But I was one person I found all the way back to 1810. So I mean,
That's a lie. These people still have stuff on the books.
there are census. You look at the census. Most people will look at the 1870 census. If you find an ancestor, it's right there. It'll tell you. You just got to know the name. It's right there. It'll have
Then, sir, maybe you're an immigrant. Then if you can't find it,
it'll have I don't know. It'll have the W for white.
Reggie Jones.
It'll have the N for Native American. It'll have the M for multiracial or mulatto. It'll have a B for black
or Negro. Sometimes they put Negro.
Sometimes they put an N for Negro. So, I mean, it's right there.
Yeah.
So that was surprising when
they even put colored too.
Yeah, see, but that's they started putting that in place of mulatto or mixed or whatever. Hold on, let me go. We saw this one, didn't we? Yeah, we saw that one.
Mm-hmm.
Saw that one. Just saw that one. All right, let me show you this one. Now this. Remember when we watched Roland Martin last week make the argument that it wasn't ADOS that put this on the map in California. It wasn't them. Well, Tone responded to that.
Thank you, Tone. Receipts.
Well, I don't know if he responded directly to it. This is a clip someone put together showing that actually it was. This woman here was somebody who was working with them. So let me show her say it. All right.
So I want to talk about when I reached out to you and how that came about. I had only been in Dr. Weber's office for a few weeks at that time, and I was an intern. So I was only going to be in Dr. Weber's office for 8 weeks. And I had a conversation with the legislative director about what I wanted to do in my 8 weeks. And said, what do you want to get out of this process? And I said, I want to work on legislation and I want to see how the sausage is made. And they asked me what my legislative aspirations were. I immediately started talking about you. I started talking about ADOS. I started talking about the reparative justice, and reparative justice is something that is near and dear to me. And I asked for their support to be able to present to them the studies that I had gotten from you. So I pulled up your YouTube, I pulled up ADOS101.com, and I began to have conversations in the Capitol about the work that you and Yvette had done. So I can't take credit for a lot of the information. I was just a facilitator of that information. I did some other research, but really, I'll tell you, I was really okay with that part of it. But when I reached out to you, I didn't know how you would receive that. And I remember writing the email. I still remember writing this email. I Googled you to find your email address. And I sent you an email and asked you if I could please have a conversation with you. At that time, we did not have a bill. We didn't have anything. It was an idea. And I wanted to be able to get your support and ask you if we could do this. And then you put me in contact with Dr. Darity. I had a conversation with Dr. Darity. And really, ADOS was the foundation for AB 3121. I mean, it was exactly, I used all of ADOS's foundation to build that bill.
Before we get serious, Tone looking at her like she is gravy and he wants to sop her up with a biscuit.
Yeah, Tone eyes a little,
got him over there drooling. He got him drooling. But anyway, she just clearly said that there was no bill before.
Yeah.
Reparations.
Go ahead.
There was no bill before she talked to Tone and Dr. Sandy Darity.
Yeah.
That's who she got all her information from.
Foundation.
But Roland Martin said
it was already there.
It was already there. People in California been doing this years behind the scenes.
Trying to take credit for this,
motherfuckers.
Oh yeah,
he was going in. He was calling them all kind of. Yeah, he was popping off in the mouth.
Yeah, he did.
Somebody gonna pop the bow tie off his ass though when they see him.
All right, so this last video is from the New York Commission that's beginning or is going on, and this is his description of what he believed a reparations package should be. This is once again the same person, Non-Human Media on Twitter. NYC Council Member Charles Barron co-sponsored a bill for reparations in the state of New York. The bill has yet to pass, but this is his vision for the reparations. And this is what he had to say.
Scared.
Huh?
Nothing.
No, say it. Scared what?
Scared to hear what he got to say.
Oh.
Reparations is a debt owed. And we got to, some say 6 trillion, some say 4 trillion. Some say it should be in the form of land. Some say it should be cash for everybody. Some say it should be health care. But we have to determine the compensation, not the state and the federal government, who are the perpetuators of our oppression.
Which is what the task force is aiming to do, is to try to hash out.
Right. See, the task force should be saying, you know what, before we get into this fight of who should get it, California, do you agree that we are owed reparations, and are you willing to pay it? That's the first battle. If they say, yes, you have proven you were done wrong, and we are willing to pay. Good. Now we'll let you know who's eligible, what form, and how much. You don't start from what you say, don't put the cart before the horse, or however that expression goes.
Right.
You know, you don't do that. And now we start arguing over something they haven't even committed to give you.
That's what I was asking earlier. Cause I saw this video and it made me ask that question. Do you let them tell you how much they owe you?
No. Exactly.
So you're not really waiting for them to give you a number, or you tell them what you desire.
But you first have to wing out, well, who is even eligible to get this first?
No, he said first you say, are you going to give it to me?
Well, okay. And then you say who eligible for it?
Then you say who's eligible and how much.
So are they going to say who's eligible, or are we defining who's eligible for it?
He said we define it. Okay. But he said we haven't even made them prove that they're going to pay it. That they believe that it's deserved.
I mean, to me, it don't really matter which way you do it.
Well, if they haven't even said if they're going to give it to you, if they're going to give you reparation, if you deserve it, why are you even worried about who going to get it? Are you going to even pay this? Are you even going to do this justice? Then you say, okay, you are. All right, well, this is who should get it. This is how much. This is what we want. Whether it's land, whatever you want. Do you agree with that?
It varies depending on who wants to define it, do the way they want to do it. To me,
it don't
even make a difference.
All right. So now I'm gonna show you another video. We saw last week that Jamaica is asking to get rid of the Queen Elizabeth, and they asked for reparations.
Mm-hmm.
Now Belize is asking is thinking about taking.
Is that Sean?
Yeah, you know he's
the one that
was a rapper.
Did some time for Diddy.
Yeah, then he went over and became.
Wow. Now how do you?
Because his father was, so it was easy.
That sounds like he's an agent to me.
Yeah.
French made the Haitians pay like $200 billion or $400 billion for their freedom.
Yeah.
And right now we're in the midst of taking the United Kingdom to court for reparations. Because as we know, in Belize, the transatlantic slave atrocity, Holocaust, is one of the worst things that have ever happened in humanity. And so, the United Kingdom, committed, the worst crimes against humanity. So there's nothing glorious about the Queen as our head of state in any nation in the Caribbean.
Oh, the cry.
Now hold on. This next one is all you. That you popped up with something else in your head that I didn't think about. Kamala Harris went to Jamaica and had a little speech. Now I'm gonna let y'all hear it first, and what I got from it and what you got from it was totally different. But yeah.
We also recognize, just as it has been in the United States for Jamaica, one of the issues that has been presented as an issue that is economic in the way of its impact has been the pandemic. So to that end, we are announcing today also that we will assist Jamaica in COVID recovery by assisting in terms of the recovery efforts in Jamaica that have been essential to, I believe, what is necessary to strengthen not only the issue of public health, but also the economy.
What the hell is she? Now, when I first heard this, she didn't say nothing. If you listen back to that 10 times, she said nothing.
Well,
she said, we're here to help them with their COVID relief, something, blase, health care. But she said a bunch of words that did not need to be said. She basically said, we're going to help them with the health care system.
What she was doing is trying to make herself sound intelligent. And as I've told y'all, Kamala Harris is not intelligent. So
now, hold on. Before you get to your point, when everybody see that and said, she looks bad, she's using words she don't need to use, all she needed to say was, we're helping Jamaica with their COVID relief and their medical system. And she's in Jamaica. Now, once again, Jamaica just said they're trying to get rid of Queen Elizabeth as their head of state. Now, when you saw this, what did you say?
I said clearly the United States sent Kamala Harris there to say this because the United States wants to make sure that Jamaica stays under the Western nations and they don't go to China. Because last week when you said they were trying to get rid of the Queen, because they're going to be leaning towards
Venezuela and stuff, more than likely,
and they're going to go with China. It's clear that the world is dividing into two different new.
I don't even think it's two,
but maybe
multiple regions.
And the United States wants to keep the Caribbeans underneath
the Western
flag. They don't want to let them go.
So Jamaica, we already know Jamaica has I'm going to say a lot, but Jamaica has a connection already with China. There's a lot of hotels and tourist places that are owned by Chinese people.
And Trinidad too.
Yeah, so we already know more than likely what country was it that's connected to Venezuela with the oil? Haiti is going to go, they're going to go China. I got a feeling.
Well, why would Haiti go with America after the shit that America has done?
No, I'm not talking about going with America. I'm saying they're going to follow Venezuela because of the oil deal they got.
Listen,
they're going to go with China.
If any country would leave and go off with China in the Western Hemisphere, it's Haiti.
Haiti would be like, fuck you, I'm out.
Yep. Let me tell you something. Haiti, I said this in 2 videos ago. Haiti is... They're some warriors, and they still look who they supposed to look like to this day.
Untouched,
clean, pure.
All right, here's another one. This is how you know shit's going down. Now, this was back in January 23rd of last year. This is right. This is the beginning of 2021. Mexican leader says Biden offers $4 billion to Central America. Now, he said he offered him this money to help deal with migration from South America.
Well, so Biden is saying that he offered $4 billion to Central America to keep them from coming to the United States?
Or it's just money to bribe them.
Bribe.
Because Trump, allegedly, they said Trump just destroyed the connection between North America, the U.S., Canada, and Mexico, because he did a new NAFTA deal, which according to Trump is so much better than the last one. I don't think it's much different because he probably didn't write it. It probably was Jared Kushner that wrote it. But they tried to say they said that Trump was making America an isolationist country. They were separating from everybody. It was kind of separating from the EU. They were trying to get away from all these deals and all that stuff. They were focusing on inward.
So Trump was minding his business and focusing on his country, which the United States doesn't like doing.
So Biden got in office, and his job was immediately reconnect all those places.
Have your hand in every pot, being nosy.
Yeah, remember when they were giving away all those stimulus bills? They kept adding stuff with other countries, sending money to Israel, sending money to Afghanistan for training transgender studies, sending money to Egypt.
Trump didn't want to pass the bill because he said it had a whole bunch of stuff in it that didn't have nothing to do with the American citizens.
So why was America giving away billions to these other countries?
And that's why Nancy Pelosi, drunk ass, kept holding up the bill. It wasn't just because, to make him look bad for the elections. It was also because she wanted stuff to be in the bill that Trump kept rejecting.
Yeah. Here's another one that just happened recently. Biden signs bill making lynching a federal hate crime. So it's official.
Wow. I feel special.
Wow. Thank you.
They can't hang me
And it's like they clearly waited to sign this so he can, you know what's going to be said during the midterms? I signed the lynching act. I signed this bill. I put a black woman on Supreme Court. I made a black woman as my VP. All this stuff is meant for the midterms. And don't be surprised if remember, I know people forgot, that abortion case is coming back up.
Roe
versus Wade is about to come back up with the Supreme Court. That's going to be something else they're probably going to start driving around this summer. That story kind of went to the back right now. That's the joker they're gonna pull out right before around summertime. Hey, we need to worry about this case. Supreme Court's gonna decide on this, whether or not what country. I think it's Mississippi or something. Is it Texas? Mississippi?
It was Texas.
They passed that. They try to put that abortion law. So
they still have it in place.
I know. Yeah. I think it's after,
where if you see somebody doing it, you could.
No, I'm talking about after 8 weeks. Or is it 8 weeks or less? 5 weeks. One of those. You can't have an abortion.
Should be no weeks.
It is what it is. And if you see somebody getting one, if a doctor does it and you see it, they can actually be arrested. You should snitch on them. They deputize citizens to snitch on the doctors or people trying to go get one.
Unless it's putting it's going to cause you to
die.
But that's what they did back in the day. They were willing to die to have this baby to pass on.
Your lineage is not important no more.
They viewed the child as more important because it was
the same way a man was supposed to go out and be willing to die for his family. If there was a war, I'm going. Ain't no thoughts about it.
If I got to get this baby out so that the lineage can continue, then.
But now neither one of them, the man ain't want to go to war and the women ain't finna have no baby.
I ain't gonna lie, I don't want to go to war.
Presidents typically say a few words before they turn legislation to a law, but Joe Biden flipped the script Tuesday when it came time to put a signature on Emmett Till anti-lynching act. Oh yeah, he did. He made sure he had a speech for that.
Joe Biden looked like he has aged about 10 years, and he only been in the White House for
2 years now.
2 years.
He signed the bill at the desk of the White House Rose Garden. Then he spoke. All right, it's law, said the president, who was surrounded by Vice President Kamala Harris, members of Congress, and top Justice Department officials. He was also joined by a descendant of Ida B. Wells, a black journalist who reported the lynching, and Reverend Willa Parker, a cousin of Till. Biden said it's unusual to be a bill sign. It's unusual to do the bill signing, not say anything, and then speak. But that's how we set it up.
It's what?
I hope niggas don't fall for this again. Please.
Sorry. They done fell for it.
Please.
They're like, Joe getting a plate.
Oh, yeah, the cookout. Lord, please retire the cookout.
I ain't going to say he invited, but I will take him a plate.
He can come get a plate.
He can't stay, but he can come get a plate. And we don't let people take plates.
Oh, Lord.
You remember that?
Oh, yeah.
You can't take no plate.
You ain't taking no plate. You want to eat. You ain't taking no plate home.
Well, damn, what if I want to, eat something later?
Yeah, I was working late. I just stopped by to say, well, hello. I saw y'all were coming up. No, you going to eat here. You ain't eating it all.
And then you fix it, and then you just
slide out slow. Or have somebody fix it for you and put it in the back while you sit there talking for a little bit, then dip out. Who put that in the car for me? Who put that in the car for me, boy?
A kid definitely got to do it.
Oh, yeah. He's too small. He might go pay no attention. Let me go to the next thing now. All right. Next up. Hunter Biden accused by Russia of helping finance Ukraine Biolabs. And this goes into a much bigger overarching story here. The Russian government on Thursday accused Hunter Biden Investment Fund of helping bankroll the Pentagon's alleged biolabs in Ukraine. Now, how quickly this happened, they deny this, obviously. But right after this, we saw the Wall Street Journal. Prosecutors advanced tax probe of Hunter Biden. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Then we see here, inside Hunter Biden's multi-million-dollar deal with the Chinese energy company. Now, this is the mainstream media is talking about this all of a sudden.
They're talking just about the Chinese part, though.
They're starting to talk about all
Ukraine, too?
Yes, Russia brought that out. Russia. Russia brought out a video. Pretty much said we have emails that links Biden to funding biolabs in Ukraine.
But the American citizens are not seeing the Russian part if they're not.
But you know who is
looking it up?
You know who is paying attention? Jen Psaki. Jen Psaki planning to leave White House this spring on MSNBC.
For a gig.
It's been confirmed.
Wow. So what did he? I don't understand.
He's leaving in a few weeks.
Well, these people literally just use the White House to get gigs on TV shows?
her position is normal. They normally do that. There's only been like one person that's ever stayed the whole term. I think that was what was his name? The president. I forgot his name.
But they normally don't go on TV shows, get a gig on NBA.
Yeah, they do.
They come on as a.
They either go on television shows or they become a private what do they call it, lobbyists.
Okay.
They go to private firms or something. They either go to the private sector or they go on television. That's what they all do.
She clearly want attention because she going on television.
No, it ain't attention, it's money, and she probably have a book out in a couple months too.
Who's she gonna talk about mainly, Kamala or Biden?
She'll talk about the pressure of being in office after the Trump administration and the pressure that the media put on them. And,
she's not gonna bash.
She's
gonna just okay.
But Biden's done. Mainstream media is starting to talk about him. But they started talking about him sour around the Afghan point. Now they're flat out saying, what is going on with Hunter? CNN is talking about the Hunter Biden laptop.
Hell, ABC.
ABC is saying, there's an investigation.
Breaking news.
It's like, this is 2 years old. This stuff, I saw this stuff with my own 2 eyes. I saw the emails. I know who the big guy is. I know his uncle was involved. I knew this 2 years ago. I'm just some dude. How the hell a multi-billion-dollar company that has investigators?
And they said they had the scoop.
Yeah, the scoop. And this one right here, the scoop. We already knew she was leaving Remember a month ago, we saw that it said she's leaving. So this is not a scoop. This is the proof. She was asked about this in a conference, and she wouldn't answer it. She said it's nothing to confirm.
Is Simone Sanders going to come back and be the president?
Hell no. She got her job already on the same network, MSNBC. They grabbing everybody and sending them to Peacock. And Peacock got all the shows. Now Peacock trying to come up. They got Bel Air, a couple of those shows. They got that other show, the one that's kind of weird about the dude who boss assaulted him, not molested him sexually, but grabbed him. Remember the show I showed you, the trailer? The Bust Down.
Oh,
so they got a couple shows over there. Yeah,
interesting name.
Then you got this here. This is the war, the pitfalls of a peace deal for Ukraine. What they're talking about here is America really doesn't want peace with Ukraine and Russia. They don't benefit from it.
Let me guess. Russia is in the suit and the Ukrainian is in the jumpsuit.
I don't know who that is right there. So let me go here. All right. Now I'm going to show a clip. This is just a setup to you that when the mainstream media starts saying the same thing, we really don't notice it because you don't watch every channel. You probably watch 2 or 3 news channels. That's about it. But when you really look at all these news channels and the people on it, the anchors and all them, and how they're saying the same thing,
they're all giving the same script.
It's kind of scary when you see it put right in front of you. So let me show you here. All right.
The sharing of biased and false news has become all too common on social media. More alarming, some media outlets publish these same fake stories without checking facts first.
The sharing of biased and false news
has become all too common on social media.
More alarming, some media outlets publish these stories simply aren't true without checking facts first.
Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think. And this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
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 So, if these people say stuff like, and it's clear they're on the script.
Yes, they're on the script.
To say the same thing, then what else?
What else
is they on the script to tell you? They told you 2 years ago that the Hunter Biden laptop was Russian propaganda. It wasn't real. I think it was last week we talked about white, gray, and black propaganda and how they use that here in America.
Yes.
How there's CIA agents that have been put in these newsrooms to control the narrative. People whose job it is to give to propagandize the public, to make you believe certain things, to change your opinion, to sway your opinion. Hell, we could look at the Chris Rock Will Smith situation. People have a totally different opinion on those two men. All of a sudden, Chris Rock is the cool shade wearing.
But for those who see the real,
can we please stick here? Because you keep saying you don't believe it. Okay, I get it. Damn, you don't believe it, as I don't either.
Okay,
the point of the matter is you have to pay attention to what the purpose of it is.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus, we get it. You're special. You didn't fall for it.
Young, black, and gifted.
Now I'm gonna show you this. This was released by Maria, I can't even say it, Zakharova, the Russian MFA spokeswoman. She basically has the same job as Jen Psaki over there in Russia. She has the same job.
Maria.
Yeah, her name is Maria. This is what she said. She said, we can get in a rough idea of the U.S. political elite's involvement in the military biological activity in Ukraine if we rely on open sources as well as leaked documents. Below is an attempt to reconstruct the chronology of this involvement, though not a comprehensive one. There are many gaps in the truly diabolical plan that are still being filled. Now you see right here, 1991, U.S. launches the Nunlunger program for the former Soviet country to control and eliminate Soviet weapons of mass destruction, including bioweapons, the Pentagon's Defense Threat Reduction Agency. Hey, where we heard that from? Didn't they just say recently that they have a threat reduction agency in Ukraine? It's not Biolabs. We have a threat reduction program there.
Sure you do.
So 1991 that came about. And Nunn at the time was the senator of Georgia, and Lunger was the senator, I believe, of was it Tennessee or Mississippi? One of those?
I'm not for sure.
I'm not sure, one of those. So you had two U.S. senators who were part of this thing going on all the way over there in Ukraine. Okay. The Ukraine-U.S. agreement on prevention of proliferation of WMD is signed. An additional, that's when the weapon of mass destruction, that died after Bush used it for 2001. They could never use that term again. He killed it. They were still using weapons of mass destruction up until when Bush said it. He blew it up when he said, because it was such a lie. If they ever said it again, people would know they're lying. An additional protocol is signed into agreement between the Ukraine Health Ministry and the DTRA, that is the Defense Threat Reduction Agency, on the prevention of the proliferation of technology, pathogens, and know-how that can be used to develop bioweapons. This is the start of the transfer of the Ukrainian military biological potential into the U.S. specialist hands. Now we're going to jump down. We're going to go to 2009. Rosemount Seneca Partners is established by former U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry's stepson, Christopher Hines, and incumbent U.S. President Joe Biden's son, Hunter Biden.
I bet you any amount of money Christopher Hines is related
to the Heinz
ketchup.
Probably is. Anti-constitutional coup d'etat in Ukraine. We talked about that, how they helped the Nazis over there take over and do some, we showed it already. 2014, Hunter Biden joins the board of directors of Burisma Holdings, a Ukrainian energy company. Burisma Holdings is not an energy company. It's a bunch of companies. That's why it's called Burisma Holdings. They hold a lot of companies. That's not just energy. Metabota.
That's probably how
Metabota, a private commercial organization specializing in the study of pandemic risk, is attached from Global Viral. Neil Callahan and John DeLoach, employees of Hunter Biden's company Rosemont Seneca Partners, are appointed to the board of Metabota. Global Viral and Metabota begins to get funding from the U.S. Department of Defense. Now, Global Viral, now this is crazy. Global Viral was started by a man. Let me see right here. I got it right here. It's started by this dude here. This loads.
Ain't his name
Nathan Wolf. Dr. Nathan Wolf is the one who started that company. And look, this is a picture of him. This is his book, The Viral Storm. Now,
and this was before the pandemic?
This is before the pandemic. I think he wrote this in 2014.
I told you, they always tell you what they planning, what they gonna do.
So he wrote this book.
And got the mask on the thing.
Yes, I'm gonna show you his picture next. He wrote this book, and guess who forward in his book? Well, you already know. Jeffrey Epstein. He was friends with Jeffrey Epstein. And his partner, I should be able to see right here. See Jeffrey Epstein, Bill Gates, and this guy right here. This guy right here is the one who took over Bill Gates's
foundation.
No, it's not Bill Gates. I'm sorry. This guy here, Boris Nikolic. He was the person who became the executor of Jeffrey Epstein's
estate. Yeah.
One of the executors. And you go, wait, Bill Gates's ex-advisor. This guy was Bill Gates's advisor. Bill Gates' ex-advisor became Jeffrey Epstein's executor after he was killed.
Just kind of.
So the people tied into this is you got Nathan Wolf, the guy who started Global Viral.
Bill Gates.
You got Jeffrey Epstein and Boris Nikolic, and Bill Gates is connected. And they're all into bio stuff. Those Biolabs and.
Yeah, you say why is Bill Gates into? He's a fucking
It's a
computer whiz.
Which we know he's not. We know that he made most of his money by selling you computers that can get a virus and then selling you the technology to get rid of the virus. That's how he made most of his money. If he even has that much money, 'cause I'm pretty sure he's owned by NASA or FBI, CIA, and all. It's one of those. Another thing, this is the guy here, Nikolic. This is another picture of him with Jeffrey Epstein. You see here? It says, who is Boris Nikolic? Epstein named executor is former Bill Gates advisor. And this somehow, this should be a much bigger story. But we're going to go back to this for a second. Hold on. All right. Metabiota shows interest in Ukraine and invites Hunter Biden to assert Ukraine's cultural and economic independence from Russia. That's 2014. Now it goes on to this basically to say that Hunter Biden was the one who funded, or at least helped fund, the campaign to get those labs in Ukraine.
You know that Metabiota it's located in San Francisco. They got another location in Washington D.C., Cameroon, and in the Congo.
Oh yeah, they said they had to deal with viruses that's in the Congo too.
Didn't they call it Crimean Congo something?
Yeah.
Wow.
Now look at
now
this.
You have to ask, why are they located in the Cameroon and the Congo?
There's viruses
in Washington D.C. and in San Francisco.
Because there's viruses there. Look at this. Now this is a payment that proves that there was money sent from a company to Hunter Biden. This is the proof. So they
receipts, baby.
They can keep trying to deny it, but that's the proof. Now look at this. Metabiota raises $30 million in Series A funding. Metabiota, the San Francisco, California provider of disease outbreak detection solutions, raised $30 million in Series A funding led by Rosemont Seneca Technology Partners and including participation from 24 investors. That Rosemont Seneca, that's Hunter Biden. So he helped them raise $30 million, apparently. Look at this. These are the people that's in connection. The U.S. Department of Defense, and look, Metabiota.
What a coincidence.
Oh, it's just a coincidence. Obviously, there's nothing to it. Hold on. There's something else I want to show. Ooh. Not only did America allegedly do this,
so did Germany.
Germany implemented its own biological program in Ukraine. Now, that's what the Russians are saying, by the way. That's what Russia is saying that. So I'm pretty sure there's some propaganda on their end as well. But look at this. There was a story that happened February. In late February, the German spy chief stranded in Ukraine amid Russian attack. when Russia first started going into Ukraine, a plane left Ukraine, but their head chief
Stay behind.
had to stay behind.
Why did he stay behind?
So something was in that plane that was more important than him.
Anthrax?
So is it possible that when that plane left Ukraine and their German spy chief is left behind, did that plane have all the material that Ukraine was, that Germany had in Ukraine from those biolabs? Did they take that stuff and get it out of there before? Because now Putin and Russia saying we got proof that Hunter Biden was involved in this. United States.
Allegedly, that would be a yes.
He had. How do you leave your German spy chief behind? You leave him behind, and the plane
They didn't leave him
him
behind. He told him to go. I ain't getting on that damn plane.
I'm not
Crazy.
getting on that plane. I'll wait for the next one.
You're crazy.
I'm just saying, it seemed like a coincidence. Russia said they had a program there as well, and it just so happened that this story happened a month or so ago. That kind of was a strange story. How do you leave somebody that important behind unless
you don't?
Exactly.
Unless they volunteer themselves to stay behind while you go drop off some shit and come back and get me later.
Yeah, that's what happened. So clearly there's some stuff going on there. All right, let me show some more of this. Hold on. What's this? Already showed that. And this is also tied to the Eco Health Alliance with Peter Daszak, how you say his name. And then if Peter Daszak is involved, is Dr. Fauci involved? Eco Health
Dr.
Alliance.
Fauci, like I don't gotta be involved in everything, do I?
When it comes to that, yes, he do. I'm gonna show you this. This is right here, the Eco Health Alliance saying that they were a part of this. So you have the Eco Health Alliance, you had Global Viral that were working together to do this. This is a USAID announced the second phase of Predict project with global partners. If you read this article, you'll show that they were a part of this. You'll see that they were part of this. Here go another one. Evidence of retrovirus, and this right here is them also saying that they were partnering with them to work on some of this stuff. This is also includes the Wuhan lab, the virology of the Wuhan lab. What do they call it? The Wuhan Virology Institute.
Yes,
they were involved in this too. So you got Global Viral, Wuhan, possibly U.S. State Department, maybe, possibly Biota. So Bidens are connected to this too. Oh, let's just move. All right, let me show another. This is Munich Re and NQTel select Biota to gain deeper insights into epidemic risk and global preparedness for infectious diseases. NQTel, that's CIA owned. If you look at NQTel, you'll see that they're a company. You see here somebody wrote something in spring of 2013. NQTel, the Central Intelligence Agency, as venture capitalists. So the CIA is buying companies or putting money into companies so that they can own them and possibly do certain things with them. So while they're doing these while they're creating these dangerous weapons, they're profiting at the same time. So that you have the CIA buying into private companies. That's what you're dealing with.
Never surprised when it comes to anything.
And while all this is going on, if you'll see recently, Joe Biden came out and said that there's going to be a food shortage. You see here, it's going to be real. President Biden on war-related food shortages. Now he's blaming Putin, saying that it's because of Putin that the food. But if I remember correctly, last year, I'm pretty sure it's still happening. There was ships, hundreds of ships outside of California, waiting to be brought in and the stuff to be shipped because the drivers there wasn't enough drivers.
And they never went out there and got it.
So did they clear it up, or is those ships still out there? Wasn't the supply chain messing up all the way back last summer?
Yes, it was.
Wasn't it the reason why the thing that happened in Canada was such a big deal with the trucker saying we ain't delivering. That was a big deal because there was already a shortage happening.
Yeah.
There were delays to people deliveries. People were ordering stuff and it wasn't getting to them for a week, 2 weeks, a month. So how the hell does it have anything to do with the war?
It's Putin's fault.
Okay. So there's a reason why the president of the United States would tell you this, by the way. That says something when the president says it. Look at this. Trudeau, that's the president of the prime minister of Canada. Trudeau warns of difficult time, food shortages due to COVID. So he's still blaming COVID.
Oh, he's still on the COVID, but back in the COVID
he's still, we were sent, America, Biden and all them were blaming COVID last year. They were saying the same thing, the shortages.
Oh, he a year behind.
Exactly. They were saying the shortages were because of COVID. Now they're saying it's because of the war. Trudeau is still saying it's because of COVID. He still hasn't moved on yet. Then I got to show this right here.
Inflation. Sure.
Now, this woman right here, Jen Psaki, was asked a question about the shortages being blamed on Putin.
Is that a woman?
Lord, let's see what she had to say.
Inflation. Sure. Okay. Today, the president blamed Putin's invasion of Ukraine for not just higher gas prices, but also higher food prices. Inflation was at 7.4% in January before the invasion. In February, it went up to 7.9%. Putin didn't invade until the 24th. So March is really going to show the impact of the invasion. And that report doesn't even come out until April 12th. So how are people supposed to believe the Putin price hike is to blame for food prices going up when the timeline doesn't add up?
Well, here's what the president is reflecting on. One, the price of gas has gone up by approximately $1 or more since Putin started lining up troops at the border. This is something that outside economists have spoken to as well, not just the administration. And those are just factual details about how much the price of gas has gone up. We know that's a huge impact. And when you say inflation, people think the costs on their pocketbook and the impact on their budgets. The second piece on the availability of food.
Wait, she didn't answer the second question about the inflation. We know what inflation is. So why did she just act like she had to explain what inflation was right there?
To think of some shit to say about the food shortage.
Because she couldn't really say, yeah, it ain't because of Putin, the inflation.
We know that different markets around the world are impacted by the lack of production in Ukraine and other because of the war. And we know that.
Well, yeah, Russia has is one of the biggest suppliers of wheat.
Yeah.
She didn't want to say Russia right there for some reason. Yeah, Russia is very important when it comes to wheat. They supply most of the globe.
That could impact global food prices.
This is the first time we've heard the president blame Putin for higher food prices.
I think what the president's looking at is what the impact has been in a lot of areas that are leading to price increases on people's pocketbooks and where we could see it increasing over the course of time.
She just said some shit right there. She just said something.
She like, bitch, I gotta go.
She, I'm not gonna be here but a few
I'm not
more
gonna
weeks.
be here all day. Come back my last day. I'll tell you everything you want to know.
Oh, that's gonna be funny. What if she did just go? What she did is really just tell all on her last day. This is the final voice of doom. Dr. Fauci, he's back. Warns U.S. could face more COVID lockdowns as he admits latest variant set to hit U.S. is less serious than Omicron. We can't just say we're done. You know, in this article, he said he want people to wear. He thinks there's gonna be a mandate. He thinks there's gonna be lockdown so strict that people are going to be asked to wear a mask in their homes.
And he actually think I'm going to sit here. And
well, shit, you wearing it outside now still. They told you it don't work and people still wearing them. They told you, hey, those masks don't work. You need an N95.
Well, whatever. I ain't sitting in no damn house with no damn mask on. That's stupid.
People still walk around with them blue mask on or cotton mask on. And it's like they told you it don't work. Why are you wearing them?
Because I want to wear it. Now, when I'm out the door, that's a whole totally different thing.
Y'all are crazy. They told you don't need to wear them.
I got sense.
And y'all still wearing them.
I'm not sitting in no house.
What's the difference?
With no damn mask on. If I'm in a car with my spouse, I'm not sitting in the damn car with the windows rolled up and no mask on. That's just stupidity.
They told you it don't work and you walk around with it on.
Yeah, they tell me a lot of things.
So now it do work. They lying about it working now.
Listen, Mind your damn business.
Y'all crazy.
Worry
There's
about
no
you.
way.
Just know that I ain't sitting in no house with no damn mask on.
But shit, you walk around with it on. They think
Well, whatever. I can do what I want to do.
will try to pull this one off too. That this person here said, now that the pandemic is over, the useless CDC revealed just how many Americans have COVID immunity. Basically, they came out on this and said that about 95% of Americans have, it said, according to the Center for Disease Control and Prevention survey of blood donor samples conducted in December and updated last month, an estimated 95% of Americans aged 16 and older have developed identifiable COVID antibodies. Those come from both vaccinations. Roughly 77% of the U.S. population has received at least one COVID vaccine dose, according to CDC, and prior COVID infections. On Wednesday, useless CDC Director Rochelle Walensky testified before the House Select Subcommittee on the coronavirus crisis. She referenced the 95% immunity figure in her testimony. So she's saying that 95% of the country is already good.
How is 95% of the country has immunity when 95% of the country
That's the
hasn't
point.
gotten
They're
a
lying.
shot?
So that would mean they're not pushing vaccines no more, right?
They can push whatever they want to push. Do whatever they want to do.
Did you want to show this one? This was a video I found that had a very strange coincidence in it. If you remember, at the beginning of the pandemic, there was a particular number that every mayor or whatever was using to describe how many people they had that had the Rona. Let me show the video here.
As of today, and I say as of today at this hour, we have 33 confirmed positive tests for the virus.
Yesterday we had 22 cases. Today we have 33 cases, so it has gone up by 11. That brings, those are 11 new cases. 22 go to 33.
As we sort through this here in Arkansas, today we have 33 confirmed positive cases in Arkansas.
As of today, we have 33 confirmed cases with Boston residents. We expect those numbers to climb.
As of this afternoon, we have 33 Pennsylvanians who have tested positive for COVID-19.
So as of this morning, there were 33 confirmed cases in North Carolina.
Evening to you. Lots to get to tonight. I'm Leon Hendricks. We want to start with new information into our newsroom. Within the past couple of hours, there are now 33 confirmed cases of the coronavirus in Michigan.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us for the news at 6. I'm Richard Gerhardt. Karina Corral has the night off. More cases of the coronavirus were confirmed today in San Luis Obispo County, bringing the total number now to 33.
Right now, Georgia is reporting a total of 99 cases in 19 counties. That is 33 new cases from just yesterday.
Good afternoon. I'm Karen Swenson. More cases and more events affected. Here is the latest coronavirus news. There are now 33 cases in Louisiana.
As expected. The number of cases of COVID-19 jumps. A total of 33 people in our state have been tested and are confirmed to have the coronavirus.
Day 4 of the shelter-at-home order brought 6 new confirmed cases of the coronavirus to San Luis Obispo County, bringing the total number to 33.
33, the highest number in Freemasonry. It was just 33 all over the place, all over the country. Everybody had 33 cases.
Whether it was 22 plus 11.
They found a way to get 33.
They found a way to get that damn 33. One said 99.
Yeah.
But today, 33 more cases came out. They had to miss the mark on the 33, so they said, shit.
They had to go back.
And we're at 99. But
33 new cases.
We had 33 new cases today.
But yeah, man, this whole point, the influence. The influence the people we watch, they influence how you view the world. So during the last week, who were you watching? Who influenced you, and what did you find important? Ask yourself that. When you were watching all the stuff you watched this week, what was the thing that you watched that was found to be the most important by the people that you watched? How did they influence you? Did they just have you talking about this Will Smith slap? Did they just have you talking about something else? Like what? Who was the person that influenced you the most? Well, yeah. Got anything else you want to say?
No, thanks for viewing the channel.
Y'all, boy. All right, man. Y'all be safe. Like, comment, subscribe, share, and all that good stuff. Y'all be safe out there. All praise to the Most High. And peace, man.